Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and was it really that good? So in this little video I'm gonna talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey and my experience with it. So it's that time of the year, things are settling down before they start back up again. January 1st, how I hate you.
Give me a knife.
Okay, and I wanted to scratch that itch that I have for Greek mythology that I've had since primary school probably. So I reinstalled Assassin's Creed Odyssey just to see if it was just like nostalgia or if it was actually that good the first time I played it back in 2019. This is not a review. Wanted to just kind of, maybe it is kind of a review. I think reviews generally are useless. They are biased, I think. I don't fucking know. It's a whole other thing on its own.
What?
Anyway, the game is vast, has a huge map filled with different islands to explore, and it really does feel like you're exploring ancient Greece. Not that I or anyone would actually know what that's like, but my god, it is as close as anyone would get, I would say. I mean, visually the game is just stunning to look at. The way the sun rays or the god rays, whatever the fuck, pierces through the tree lines, to where you're standing on top of the temple of Aphrodite and kind of just looking out over Athens. It's just beautiful. It's just gorgeous to look at. It is undeniably just probably one of the more better looking games they've made. I think so. It truly does feel immersive when you're inside of it, experiencing it, feeling it, it's easy to get kind of distracted when sailing to an objective, go and explore an entirely new location, whether it's an island or a new city, or just to see what's happening. It's probably the game's biggest drawings. If you don't know too much about the general story of the game, I'm gonna try not to spoil it too much, and I'm just gonna give like the highlights. But the game is pretty old. It's like
9 years.
Nonetheless, you start off as either Alexios or Cassandra, and you get to choose which character you play as. I always play as male characters in games, even if I get a choice to choose, I always go that way. It's just me, my preference. I don't want to say too much and completely give it all away, but you have a family, and the family is sort of related to the god Poseidon, and there's people in the town who don't like that, and they want to kill you and your family and your sister and your daughter and all of that shit. And yeah, Alexios eventually becomes a mercenary. You go on a quest to go and find your mom and find your dad and figure out what the fuck, basically, and where you come from, where your family comes from, what you are, what's up with this fucking spear, and you have to deal with like the politics and just general ensuing war around you. It's fun, it's interesting. The way it's told, I mean, then you meet weird characters, historical figures that sit in that time of Greece, like Socrates and other people. And it's a lot of Socrates and
Sorry, man.
Anyway, one thing I will say though is this is not exactly an Assassin's Creed game. What I mean when I say this, like if I had to describe this game, I would say it's more like an RPG centered around Greek gods, the Peloponnesian War, with some classic Assassin's Creed tropes that you would find in most Assassin's Creed games, like the parkour system that's found in all Assassin's Creed games. It's pretty much the most watered down version of it in this game compared to other games like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood and 3 that I've played, where we're scaling buildings and you jump through windows and you assassinate people more just cinematically. It's just more engaging assassinations overall. That was more of a thing, back in the day. It was more of it was the game, because it's Assassin's Creed, it just was more of a thing. In this game, it's not as present. It's more like an afterthought. It's just it's just in the game so that it's Assassin's Creed still.
You gotta think like a criminal.
But it's like it's more like Alexio's Assassin's Creed. I mean, it's good for what it is, you know, the story is engaging, strong character development, premium lore to dive into, stuff like that, you know. No, combat and fighting is very fun, but it's not as brutal and as visceral as you would find in Valhalla, but still very satisfying, gutting and slashing and gashing and mashing. And but I'm gonna struggle to think of any more synonyms, but it's basically fucking awesome fighting. It's what it is. You know, you have swords and spears and hammers and stuff, and I'm probably forgetting more shit, but that's what you have in your disposal, and you get variations of it, legendary variations of those as well. You know, the way you fight, it's throwing out heavy and light attacks, weaving them together in combos to build up adrenaline, where you use your godly acquired skills and talents to like obliterate your enemies. It's the most fun and addictive part of the game, you know. And if you stick it out until the end game, or what can be considered as end game for an Assassin's Creed game, you'll have the most fun here in this area, kinda just taking out entire forts alone, just solo, just kind of doing that all by yourself, like egging on mercenaries that you encounter in the streets, killing them and civilians alike, using just everything at your disposal. Is the most satisfying combat I've had playing this game. It's just awesome, yeah. You know, but I also think that this is where some hardcore Assassin's Creed fans might lose interest, just because the game is basically Alexio's gradually becoming a god, and it shows in the skills, in the armor and the weapons that you get, and the general story. But that's what makes it so fucking good, right? Right. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks for having this little fun time with me. That's all I have to say. Peace.